We good?
We on.
What's the topic for something?
Thanks for hanging out with us this evening. We're about to get started here on the HotBox. You notice did a little bit of a different lineup tonight.
Friday night. You got me in here on a Friday night. I'm ready.
All right, let's do this.
I feel bad. I'm sitting in the juice chair, man.
Hey, Juice couldn't
Does
make
not
it
look like
tonight.
juice, but
Hold it down.
I usually warm it up for him, but I like to get up when it's time for him to sit.
In Europe, this is the symbol for sub, right?
Okay.
Kev, seven for Kev.
When he did that in the T Strachan chair, he talked all kind of nonsense. So I don't think I
So
can.
you got to
do
bring
that.
some nonsense
That's
tonight.
between him and T. Well, I'll bring a little bit.
Bring some nonsense tonight.
All right, here we go.
Got us queued. Oh, you got my man tonight.
Thanks for hanging out with us on a Friday special edition of the HotBox. I'm Ken Marangolo on behalf of First Amendment Sports. Welcome, welcome, welcome. He's Darren McClinton.
What's going on, fellas? I'm here solo tonight. Kev, you gonna hold it
You're
down
not
for
solo,
my brother?
man. I mean, there's people
Hey.
around you that care for you.
I'm solo as part of the McClinton brothers.
Yeah, there's
The
no
solo
replacing
one
the big,
half
You
in
can't
here.
replace the big brother, but
We have a Kevin, but not the Kevin. Kevin Ricka filling in for Juice.
I'm not replacing anybody. I'm not even going to say the hot box thing at the end, but I kind of want to.
Well, someone better step up.
You're always welcome, brother.
My man.
Let's just get right to it. We haven't done a show. I want to say Happy New Year to you guys.
Yes,
Happy
2019
holidays.
is the first 2019 show.
First 2019 show. Happy New Year, everybody out there checking us out. We will be back again next week on our regular schedule. But as for this week, let's just wrap up some stories. Let's get straight to our knock it off segment. I know.
I've got a couple of them, Ken.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll do a one that's fresh and new, and we just saw it, and we were just talking about it. How about knock it off, Jimmy Butler?
I cannot believe what I just saw on that scroll. I've got to.
He's challenging the coach in their system now
Yes.
in
I
Philadelphia.
tried to tell Juice.
Yes.
I tried to
You
tell
did call
Juice.
it too. What is going on?
What is wrong with him? That to me, because he's not a bad player.
He's not a bad player at all. And, he kind of cleared his name because it was messy in Minnesota. And he came to the Sixers, and it seemed like a fix, a quick fix. And, everything was flowing. He wasn't really the go-to guy, but he was he's like a 1A, 1B with Embiid. And he seemed to be meshing well with Simmons.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with the three-headed monster. That's the way teams are going now. You've got a three-headed monster, and then you have some pieces around that dynamic. But he seems to be upset again.
He needs to knock it off.
And he's challenging coaches and management.
He's always sad.
Yes. What is going on? This is and this is on the tail end of that situation that's going on in Pittsburgh with the Steelers, man. And I'm like, this generation of athlete, it's like the better you are, the more spoiled you are. What is going on? Is the juice worth the squeeze with some of these guys? What
No.
happened to old school? I'm the coach, you're the player, and I think the way these kids are coming up, the grassroots level, I think they're becoming more and more spoiled. I think the large contracts and the social media influx to where guys are really thought of as larger than life and larger than the team, and there's some underlying, it's like statistics, popularity, fame, which is overshadowing, the whole team aspect, man. It's not with everybody, but you get some cases where, that you've got guys that are more happy with having good stats, especially in a contract year or nearing a contract year, having great stats, and that trumps winning, and that trumps the whole doing it together with your teammates.
And Brett Brown. So the thing about Brett Brown is, because a lot of people probably don't know too much about him. He's a Popovich guy. He spent almost 15 years or so as director of player development and a top assistant for Popovich, who
if you're a
I think
Popovich guy, you're all about culture, team culture, and establishing a culture.
Going after Brett Brown to me because of that fact alone, and especially on an organization that invested in Brett Brown. It's tired. The 76ers committed to Brett Brown in 2013. They've given him 5 years. He's been invested in that process, and now they got the players, and now they're actually contending in the East. Man, this is what you said was going to happen, but man, I thought they really thought they could avoid this. Now let's just hope it's just some.
I saw it on the scroll. We saw it on the scroll. I want to look into it. I don't have all the information yet, but it says he's challenging.
It's challenging.
All right, speaking from Juice's chair, and this is the conversation I had with Juice, and one thing I agree with him on is Jimmy Butler's a dog.
Yes, he is.
He just can't be taken to the dog park. You got to play by yourself in the backyard. That's one thing. But you keep on going to the dog park and biting other dogs, especially the big dogs, you got to go home. And there's no one else to play with at some point. No one wants to play with you anymore. It's over. And that makes me nervous because he's the ultimate teammate to his teammates. But then he feels that ego in there as a guy that just gives his heart, and he feels like he does that. So he has achieved the ability to go after the top dog. That's not happening, buddy. He's got to find someone that can deal with his ass.
Right, and like you said, when you're a good teammate to your teammates, that's all fine and dandy. But just like I said before with the Antonio Brown, the Pittsburgh Steelers, where he said, "I'm the franchise," or you're making statements like this, and Jimmy Butler said this same kind of thing. He had an outburst in practice when he was in Minnesota, like. I'm the guy. I am, the Timberwolves, and that there's no place for that in my eyes. It's.
What do you got? What's your where's your knock it off?
I've got a couple.
All right.
My first one is LeBron James coming out and declaring himself the GOAT. He has an argument, and we're all in agreement that he has an argument.
He's in the conversation.
But I'm in the school of leave that to the fans, to the critics, to everybody has their opinion.
Analysts.
Let everybody else give their take on it.
Yes.
I'm not in favor of being self-proclaimed the GOAT, the greatest. Or that's not fair to the people before you. It's not fair to everybody else that's in the room, that's in the conversation that you haven't had the opportunity to play with.
A lion doesn't have to claim it's a lion. It's already a lion.
Exactly.
I mean, come on, man. And I love LeBron.
And kind of everything LeBron does is it's almost like LeBron can't do any wrong. But this one right here was wrong. In my opinion,
he needs to knock it off.
Knock it off, LeBron. It's let everybody else.
There's plenty of people who will call him that. Plenty of people will call him that.
There are plenty of people.
I'm a big fan of his. I did not like it one bit.
Right, and he has a very wide fan base, and it struck people in different ways. My other one is Charles Barkley. And everybody else who agrees with Charles Barkley that James Harden, and shout out to James Harden, he's on a ridiculous run right now.
Yeah. And he's been on runs like this before. This isn't his first time on his kind of run.
40, so 40, the beard 40, 40.
Yes.
Yes.
The beard is being the beard right now.
This
isn't anything out of the ordinary. This is the beard.
Reigning MVP, right?
Reigning MVPs, playing like he's going to be a repeat MVP, possibly.
Sure.
But and like I said, I give him the praise for what he's doing, because a lot of people thought that when Chris Paul went down, they were gonna hit And they already weren't playing that well. And they, with Carmelo leaving and everything, that, Houston is supposed to be, top 1 or 2 seed coming in. And what did they won 11 out of their last 12, and he's just been playing lights out. He just beat Golden State last night by himself.
Yep.
That was incredible to watch. But
hold on, Capella had 29 and 21. He was there too. I know he's invented by James Harden, but 29 and 21?
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah, Capella is. Yes, he needs to take James Harden to dinner as often as he can, because
4 nights a week.
Yeah. Now, Barkley says, and Barkley came up in the era of Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Barkley says that James Harden is the most gifted offensive player that we've ever had in our game. Knock it off, Charles Barkley. And if you agree with Charles Barkley on this, knock it off. And I'm going to tell you why.
You can't put your hands on him.
Kobe Bryant. Yes. The rules are tailor-made for James Harden game. If you pull up a clip of James Harden highlights, he's either in the right slot, the left slot, and Ken, the slot is right. Got the top of the key.
Yep.
Then right over here is the right slot. Right over here is the left slot. Those are the 3 positions where he operates 90 to 95% of the time.
Okay.
And he has the ball in his hand. All right. The analysts have stats of how many times he's dribbling the ball, how much time on the clock that he has the ball in his hands. Okay. Kobe Bryant one time had a right shoulder injury, played the game left-handed, scored 29 points. Okay. Larry Bird one time got bored and just said, I'm going to play this whole game left-handed.
Said it. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to get 30 lefty.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
And he had 30-something with his left hand, right? James Harden can spring anything on this left side. His thumb, tennis elbow, hurt his shoulder a little bit, whatever you want to call it, and
it's over.
It's over. He's and a lot of lefties are dominant left-handers, and I'm not taking anything away from James Harden, but what I'm saying is, if you're going to proclaim him as the most offensively gifted player that we've had in this game, you got to knock it off, and you've got to be kidding me. Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, and I'm just talking about perimeter players. We're not going to talk about the big guys like Chamberlain and Kareem and Karl Malone, these guys that could score in their sleep. But I'm just talking about perimeter players. So offensively gifted as a guard, that means to me it's like you can score in the post, you can pivot to the right, you can pivot to the left, you have a mid-range game, you can finish at the rim, you finish from 3. There are quite a few guys. George Gervin, the Iceman, one of the best, most gifted scorers we've ever had. There are quite a few guys that are very, very gifted at scoring this basketball. And
to say James is better than all of them?
To say James Harden is better than all of them. Barkley, you got to be ashamed of yourself. Knock it off, Barkley. That's why Kenny the Jet is in the studio arguing with him in his face. Shaq arguing with him. That's crazy. And I know it looks good, but when you're being hand checked, it changes everything.
Sure.
If you can play through physicality and you can play through contact, Steph Curry is a more gifted offensive player than James Harden.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying.
But playoff hand checks have caused his points per game average to go down exponentially.
Exactly. So those are my 2 knock-it-offs.
You got any knock it offs tonight?
I do.
Let's go.
I do. Look, man, we all been home this holiday season. Everyone's happy to have some time off. Been around the family. There's been it's been a Netflix type situation.
All right.
And I'm a Twitter guy, so if there's Netflix on the screen and Twitter on my phone, this Bird Box stuff is freaking me out, man. I've had enough of it. I wanted to watch it just to make sure I knew what I was missing on Twitter. Then Twitter was telling me not to watch it because it was horrible. but I felt like excluded.
Did you watch it?
No.
Yeah, I haven't watched it.
No, I haven't.
I haven't seen it.
Me neither, and I'm not planning on it because I've been told. After the initial like shine wore off, like, look, this is Bird Box. Got to watch it. I don't know if the premise is they're in a blindfold and they're being taught if you take the blindfold off, it's over, and you have to make your way around this wooded area and with blindfolds on. Like so people have been doing like the blindfold challenge. Like
Yeah,
I've
which
seen
is
fathers
terrible.
walking their children into walls. Listen, this isn't Chi-Town 1995 R. Kelly style. Let's take the blindfolds off, man. Let's take the
blindfolds
Bird Box thing off. This isn't. I do see something wrong. I don't see nothing wrong with what's going on here. Stop the madness on Twitter. No more Bird Box. Don't watch it if you haven't. It's not worth it. I've been on Twitter for a long time. In the last 3 days, it's been ridiculous to the point where I felt like I had to watch it. Then a lot of people I trust in this Twitterverse that doesn't exist for real have informed me it's terrible. Get out.
Yeah.
Stop it. Don't do it. So here's the deal. Sandra Bullock is not the Bird Box lady to all the millennials. She's Sandra Bullock. She's different. She's a cute lady. Forget about her being the Bird Box lady. Forget about Bird Box. Forget about all of it. Don't forget about R. Kelly. Let's lock him up. Knock it off. Knock it off, Chi-Town. Knock it off, Bird Box.
That's a couple good knock it offs.
I think I combined 2 into 1.
Let's transition from there to the meat of the show, which I think kind of brings together the the James Harden, LeBron, James conversation. So we're not fully halfway into the season yet. We're probably about almost 40 games in, but probably just shy, about 35 or so games for the most part, for 35, 36 games in for most
Coming
teams.
up on halfway.
So we got about the halfway point, just about here. James Harden is making his case, but I want to talk to you about who are some of the other contenders for MVP right now in the NBA.
You know who you want to say.
Well,
I'm going to say it for you.
There was
Greek Freak. Greek Freak. Right now, Milwaukee has the best record in the NBA, and it's not a fluke. It's rightfully so. They're playing very good basketball. They have all the pieces that you need. You have a superstar, and you have complementary players, but not just complementary players that you plug in.
Yep.
You've got complementary players that are very good damn players within their own right too, as well. So Eric Bledsoe, Malcolm Brogdon, Chris Middleton, and Lopez, Brook Lopez, to round out that. And then they're deep. They have a good bench. You know, you got Tony Snell comes in. You've got the young.
What do all these guys got? All these dudes are Eastern Conference basketball
Yes.
players the way we know, right?
strong.
That's
They just
that's
added
why
George
I love
Hill.
it.
They just added George Hill, who's a veteran backcourt player, who's very good as well, very solid. You know, he's not going to hurt you. Greek Freak has what he needs around him to have an MVP season, and he's doing that so far.
Just stop shooting the three. Just do the rest.
Exactly.
You don't
And it's
need to.
scary
You
that
don't
he's
need
doing
to.
all this without range on his jump shot.
Yep.
But his Euro step attacking the basket is
Yeah, because it's like a
unguardable.
10-foot step.
It's unguardable.
he's here, then all of a sudden you need binoculars to see where
It's awesome to watch, man.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Another one.
Is Lillard? Can I just ask you a question? Is Lillard in the conversation?
Lillard is statistically yes, but how it's
Because you know that was
of-
my guy.
because of their record. Because of their record,
They're all right. I mean, they're in the thick of things.
they are. I would say statistically he's in the conversation, but I don't think Dame Lillard will get the kind of props that he deserves. He's winning games single-handedly sometimes.
Yes. Is there 5 guys you'd rather have taken the last shot than Damian Lillard?
No.
Not, there's not 3 guys I'd like to
I had him on my preseason
That's awesome. I
All
love that you
NBA
guys
first
say that.
team.
Yep.
But I think it's tough. It's a tough
He's a
bill.
dog, man.
I love
Now,
him.
Bull, pit,
you
whatever
know
it wants to be.
we
he's a
can't
beast.
mention this award without mentioning Jason Voorhees. LeBron.
Yep.
It's amazing what he has done in LA. They've already exceeded what people thought was. They smashed the Warriors. Warriors are in disarray right now, but and that's okay. That's okay. But to get those kind of wins early in the season, they go a long way. You tell your young core of players that yes, we can play with them. Yes, we can beat them, and yes, I have your back. Like LeBron always does with his supporting cast. And then when he got himself hurt the other day, and it was rare to see LeBron hurt to the extent where he can't go.
Yeah.
Because he fights through everything, kind of like how Iverson did. The little nicks and pains don't bother LeBron. So this has to be kind of serious. This groin injury. And then when he sits out,
one more week, by the way, one more week we saw tonight.
So it was a grade 2, I think. So he's going to be out another week.
One more week.
And
on the ticker when we were sitting here, it said one more week. Yep.
They're still 4 games over 500, but in the Western Conference, a 1-3, 1-4 slide, they're 8 seed right now.
Right.
They're only 2 games ahead of the next team out of the playoffs, like the Kings.
Oh, you go on a 3-game loser streak in the West, and you can slide your way right out of the playoffs.
Oh yeah.
And that's how it was last year. So I think it was a gift for some of those young players, because as soon as it happened, you heard the interview saying, we've got more than LeBron here, and some of the guys wanted to stick their chests out and show. And LeBron is right there. He's in the practices. He's kind of like a player coach as well, along with Walton. But I think these guys are finding themselves, and they're getting a chance to express themselves on the court. But then they don't have enough with him out to win those games. You know what I mean? Or be above 500 during the games while he's out. But this just goes to show he's an MVP. And just like when Jordan was playing, you just can't give it to him every year. But statistically, and the impact of what he does for his team, you literally can't give it to LeBron James every single year.
And Ingram gets to get some shots up and do some work with him out. That will help.
It will help
when he comes
will
back.
Help.
Yes.
You don't think LeBron is
Kuzma
sitting over there
too.
in those designer street clothes and his glass of wine
Yep.
and watching and saying, and these guys are gaining trust. They did alongside him, but now he's on the outside looking in, and he's really evaluating. They're gaining his trust, and I think that's going to go a long way. Another guy, Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard is playing great basketball. At the beginning of the year, and I said it here on the show, I wasn't sure how he was going to do outside of Pop's system, because we haven't seen it. I thought he wasn't really a go-to guy where he can just put the team on his shoulders and say,
mid-range, blah blah blah.
Right. But this guy here is showing me some things and telling me to knock it off, because Kawhi Leonard is playing at an MVP level. And
but he caught one on the chin with DeRozan going off.
Yes, he did. That was a huge game. I was looking forward to that game.
Me too.
And I know a lot of people had that game circled. And DeRozan got the better of him. They got the win. And DeRozan had a triple-double. Kawhi is such a quiet guy. He's not a rah-rah in your face type. He's gonna silently kill you. So I think DeRozan was very amped up, and the crowd was into it, and Kawhi's kind of the shy guy, but you look up, he had 28 and 9.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, got a great laugh though. I love it. Makes me think of Christmas.
Yeah, we got to get that sound bite. So I say for the conversation, to answer your question, Ken, who would be in the conversation right now would be Kawhi, LeBron, Giannis,
Harden,
Harden,
Anthony Davis.
Now
in the top 5. He's there.
Right now, I think there's like the Kia race to the MVP that they put out. He's in the top 10.
Yeah,
but they have Steph Curry in the top, rounding out the top 5 of that list. And then Durant is on the backside with LeBron.
AD, they're not getting
AD.
They're not getting enough wins, and then the showdowns, superstar versus superstar. The Pelicans aren't winning those games.
Nope.
And I think that way may hurt him in the race.
Of course it will.
He's putting his numbers up.
You got to win or go
sure.
nuts.
But yes, you've got to get those wins. And
I'm just saying top 5. I'm not saying my number 1 guy.
Right.
You guys know I love him.
I don't think.
But I'm just not taking him out of the top 5. But maybe he's 7. I don't know.
I'll tell you, I don't think that the Pelicans will make the playoffs this year. I don't think.
Well, it's a tough way to do it. And they're not that good.
Well,
he is, though.
You want me to tell you who's playing lights out basketball? The Joker.
Jokic.
Yeah.
He's on the list. He's in the top 10.
Should be. Denver's going nuts.
He's doing some things that we haven't seen a big man do since maybe Olajuwon. These triple doubles.
Olajuwon. Damn.
Yes. I mean, Olajuwon was the quadruple double guy, but a big that could pass the ball the way Jokic does. Well, the game has changed. A lot of Olajuwon's passes used to come from the post. He would hit cutters. He had really good vision.
Yep.
Jokic is facing the basket a lot now, so he can see everything. But his vision and his creativity from the 5 position is like something we haven't seen.
If Olajuwon played in this era, I do believe we would have seen it.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Here are Sabonis.
Sabonis.
Vita Sabonis.
We only caught the last third of Sabonis.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it.
So, transitioning from the MVP to the Rookie of the Year, is anyone going to beat your boy?
No.
Don Luca?
No. Absolutely.
He's fun to
not.
watch. I'll actually watch. I watch those guys play. He is fun to watch.
Absolutely not. It's hands down. He's head and shoulders above every other rookie. His game is so mature. He's been playing the pro game since he was 14.
Yep.
He's been playing against
grown men.
So he belongs.
In fundamental
There's no adjustment period.
In systems that employ fundamentals. I mean, in those professional leagues in Spain, as well as anybody, they play a very, very fundamental basketball. You have to be able to do exactly. You have to be able to. The coach draws it up, and you got to be able to go out there and run it.
Yes.
Everyone's got a job to do, and he understands systems. So I mean,
he's a superstar. Have you seen him on the sidelines?
He's the man.
Yeah. They love him. His personality is gigantic. He's about to take this country by storm.
I don't understand.
He's about to be an absolute staple. Kids are going to wear his jerseys within the next 2 years everywhere. He's a freak.
Yeah.
He went to the right team, yes.
He's got it, man.
But he
could
have gone anywhere.
It's awesome to watch, man, because I like Ken, I played with his dad over in Slovenia, and his dad was a hell of a player in his own right. And but his dad was, 6'7", 6'8", but more of a forward. And I remember little Luca when he was this big, and Luca came up watching, the NBA superstars and wanting to be a guard. And he just developed as a guard, and he grew to 6'7", and like you were saying, Kev, the European game, it's like it's a system, and
the beautiful system is passionate.
Yes, and for him to get EuroLeague MVP, you have to be playing damn good basketball.
Yeah.
And for him to do that at age 18, you come here, and the NBA game is so wide open, very unlike European basketball, where the first pass isn't open, the hockey assist may be open, but you might have to swing, and you don't get credit for that assist.
Nope.
You know what I mean? So here in the States, in the NBA, it's so wide open. So all of his dynamic moves, there's a quick result. You know what I mean? And basketball players can understand what I mean by a quick result, because that's like your eyes light up, because you either make the play or you make the play to the person that makes the play. So when he comes here and sees this style of basketball, Now you're gonna see all of Luka Doncic's bag, all of it. You know, his dribble moves to his step back, and he's diming, he's rebounding, he's taking it coast to coast. The kid is a very, very advanced player. He's mature, well beyond his years.
And he's singing old school Motown on the sidelines when he's out, sitting there. He's bopping his head. He's just in it. It's like watching Juan Soto around here play baseball. These kids are just having fun playing the sport that they love. They haven't been affected by all the outside interference. It's the purity, the natural just enjoyment, the passion. I can't wait to root for him.
Yeah.
I doubted him. I did.
Now
I don't doubt him. I don't doubt him anymore.
His
game is strong.
In the voting right now.
Oh, he is.
All-Star voting.
He is a freak, man.
Speaking of All-Star, guys, what are they going to do in the West? Paul George is playing definite. We're watching him right now.
He's also 6th or 7th in the MVP rankings.
Paul George is playing probably his best basketball of his career right now, when it's looking like a great decision for him to stay put and sign long term there in OKC, because what they're doing there is they're looking like a second seed team right now. He is playing, I would say, about as good as he was playing before he snapped his leg and with the Olympic team when he was in Indiana. But if you're saying forwards in the West so it's LeBron, it's KD, it's AD, right? And you're saying guards, it's Steph and it's Harden. But you've got some other guys in the West, like, because they don't do centers anymore. It's not, so it's forwards and guards. But you've got people like Jokic, you've got people like Paul George, you've got players like Dame Lillard that are in the West that any other year, or if they were in the East, they'd probably be starting.
Yeah.
You know, the West is
That's awesome. It's a lot of fun.
Jam-packed with talent, you know? And I hear a lot of people saying that the East is even in the playing field. You know, Kyrie's playing great.
If they get to the point where they go to a captain pick'em, I mean, it'll get to a point at some. If one conference gets that much better than the other one, they'll figure something out. It's not happening this year, obviously.
Who starts in the East then? Who like looking at the landscape right now? Who would start in the East? Of course, Giannis, Kyrie, Kawhi.
Yep.
Big, I don't know. Let me see, another forward.
I mean, are you putting Embiid in there?
Embiid for sure. Okay, so Embiid, Giannis, Kawhi. I mean, Kemba is playing awesome right now.
Victor
is playing great.
I'm writing them down, so.
I mean, Hayward is going to get looks just because, but I don't think
Simmons will get in.
Simmons will get in.
Well, shoot, Butler.
That's great.
Jimmy Buckets.
All right, well then I can say Beal.
I mean, I was going to say you could definitely put
Beal.
Beal in.
Yes, Beal will get in. Yeah,
it's not even. Whenever people say the East is evening it out, that's a one-sided game, West versus East, when you talk about an all-star contest. Now, before we get, because I got a real good give me your five for you guys tonight. I think I'm excited. It's gonna be a fun one. But before that, we do have to talk a little Wizards, and obviously the situation is Wall is hurt again. He's out, and all of a sudden the Wizards not dominating, but they're winning. They're not just winning games. They look better. On the screen, the comments coming out of the locker room, the interviews,
they sound better.
Everything sounds different. They're talking about each other in a different way.
Well, they're moving the ball. Satoransky gives you a totally different look from the point guard position. He's not as talented of a scorer, but he knows how to play the game. And what I think you see in the Wizards now is there's a clear-cut, defined leader out there, a guy that who you want to take that shot.
Who should have been taking more of those shots tonight against Miami.
There's no confusion of who's the go-to guy in the clutch. And there's an understanding of that, but everybody else is also getting a chance to, show their worth. And it's crazy. It's not a knock. It shouldn't be a knock on the superstar, but you see a lot of times when the superstar goes out that everybody else starts to play better. You know what I mean? Because roles are defined when you've got your superstar there, and guys know that they're coming in for a certain amount of minutes to spell, or they're knock down the open shot when you have it, but don't step out of your phone booth too often. And then when a guy goes down, and you don't wish injury on anybody, but these things happen in the game. So when a guy goes down, it's that old cliche, next man up.
Yep.
So,
and it was a big deal last year when Wall went down, when the team was winning, and the conversation was, how does Wall come back? And he was asked about it, and it got annoying to him, and he ended up saying, what am I going to do? Come back and ruin this? He's going to find a way to fit back in with his team, and it ended up working out well to a certain degree, for a certain stretch for the team.
Yeah, with the Wizards with Wall in the lineup play differently than the Wizards without Wall, obviously. And, guys get a chance to show why they are NBA players, because these guys are all pros, and they're all very good players.
And this is what I wanted to ask you when you said that. Also, I wanted to say that Beal backing up Sato on a role player thing. He's not a role player. I loved it. That was a leadership. He's way beyond a role player. But tonight against Miami, Jeff Green scored 10 points on 10 shots. Ariza, 21 points on 19 shots. Beal, 33 points on 25 shots. Sato, 8 points on 9 shots. And Otto, 14 points on 14 shots. I can't help but think that John Wall will get them a couple more shots without the high volume and the easier spot. Like, I know Miami is not a world beater, and neither are we, but that's a lot of shots for points on our team. Like, so I hate the fact that we just can dismiss Wall, but when he's here and the drama, I don't even know what to think anymore. My head's going to explode. I just know that I loved him for playing hard, especially on the defensive side and the transition part of the game. He's a freak. He gets people easy layups here and there. Tonight we noticed, like, Beal can get his, and he should get his 33 shots. I don't care. But Otto, 14 shots, 14 points. Damn.
Yeah.
A lot of Otto gets lost when Wall is out of the lineup.
Yeah. Some people start to put their Superman outfit on.
Yes.
And,
Yes.
Are y'all ready for Give Me Your 5?
Before we get there, I had a chance to go to the Maryland-Nebraska game this week.
Yep.
Ooh, yes.
It was a barn burner. It came down to the last. Jalen Smith Sticks hit a floater to win it. James Palmer, St. John's guy.
Nebraska and Northwest finest.
He had 26 or 28 points.
He's a
I
player.
love his
Ant
game.
Cowan
Man.
had 19. There were a
SJC.
lot of NBA personnel guys at that game, and it was exciting. It was good to watch. It was a good win for Maryland. Nebraska's outside of Michigan. They were the hottest team in the Big Ten.
Yep. Ranked.
Yeah, they were ranked, and it was a really good win for Maryland. They're headed to they play Rutgers tomorrow, and then they come back at Minnesota and Indiana next week. So it doesn't get any easier, especially in this year's Big Ten. It's packed from top to bottom. But that was a good game. That was a good game, and it was a good game for a couple of WCAC guys. And I know they were looking forward to that.
Couple of cadets.
They circled that on their calendar too.
I'm gonna circle that.
Well, they were both on a show together on the HotBox. Yeah, JPP, I think you called him, and
JPJ.
And JPJ, sorry. I thought it said JPP. JBJ.
And ACJ.
Well, look, when you combine Darren McClinton, the team takeover, the WCAC, the cadets, Ken's basement, my car out there, it's like 10 years old, but it's nice. You combine all these facets. We all wind up in one place talking about the same stuff over and over again. And I love it. I love it. I love it.
Good stuff. What you got for Give Me Your 5?
All right, so for tonight's Give Me Your 5, we've done kind of some different food related ones, but I had this one for you guys. So, give me your 5.
You know I love food. So
places to go eat. Now, not fast food, not high-end dining, okay? You're going to go in and you're going to sit down. You're going to order from a waiter or waitress. Okay. And they're going to bring you your food. You're not going to pay, ridiculous price for your meal. It's going to go back and it's going to cook. You're generally pleased. But like I said, it's right in that mid-range place to go eat. Now, I'll give you my first one, maybe my top one right away, but just to give you an idea of what I'm thinking about here. Chili's. I love Chili's.
But it's gone here.
But it's back. But it's gone here, but it's coming back. They're coming back in general because their commercials are starting to ramp back up again. They're finding
I love Chili's. I love it, but it's gone. Tell me more.
I know. They're coming back. Keep your eyes open because there's going to be a Chili's location near
My son cried when they took the Rockville location.
I cried when they took that Rockville location.
All right.
I love Chili's. Forever, you go in there, you know what you're getting. You're not breaking the bank, but you leave and you want to come back. I think Chili's is a perfect example of what I'm talking about, and there's plenty of them. But to me, Chili's, we're going to put that right there on the mantle.
Okay.
You got anything got the tip of your tongue?
Now, this is a tough one.
To make my list,
Yep. Okay.
you have to have a dynamite wing, chicken wing.
Okay.
So I'm going to go with Expectations.
Really?
Oh, my goodness.
Expectations?
Yes.
In Silver Spring has a dynamite wing.
Yeah, there's
You're
one.
telling me that Expectations.
I'm going there for wings. That's right by my office. If you're telling me their wings are good, I'm going to go get some wings for lunch next week.
Get the chili lime or get the
I need something sweet.
Honey Old Bay.
I'll get Honey Old Bay.
Honey Old Bay.
I don't like the heat. I want the sweetness.
I need the heat.
I want the teriyaki. I want the sweet and sour.
Hold
on. I got another one.
Expectations get your number one?
No. In no particular order.
No particular order.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to take this home with me.
Loonies. Write it down.
Fair enough. That's
Loonies.
Which one? Is there only one?
No, there's one
Don't they
College Park. There's one in
Baltimore, right? Up in
Arundel
Canton?
Mills. I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
They've got one right there.
Is this a wing-based choice?
Wing and the crab dip is so good.
Okay, yeah. They have a great crab dip.
Yes. Then I'm gonna go with.
Is there a price point here?
I mean, you're talking like $20, $25 at the most. I mean, you're going to open the menu for yourself.
Okay.
With the kids menu.
All right.
Loonies. Oh, how about?
What about your place? Did you go after this show?
Yeah, I have all those written down.
Yeah.
Stained Glass Pub, yes. Hard Times Cafe.
Stop. That was my one, man.
Hard Times.
Which one?
College Park.
Yeah, I'm a Rockville guy.
That's the best wings I've
Shout
ever
out
had.
Bob Howard and Lefty. The
Great
best wings.
The best
Because
wings
it's
I've ever
double
had.
cooked, because it's fried and finished on the grill.
Oh my goodness.
Fried and finished.
With the sauce.
They say double cooked, but some people take that as well done. But fried and finished on the
key is
36-inch grill over
after
the
they
open
fry
flame.
it, they sauce it and then put it on the grill with the sauce. So the sauce kind of
the sauce
caramelizes and crisp up.
But I like when I have a little side of sauce after that as well.
Okay. What are you dipping it in? Ranch or blue cheese?
I'm straight
Blue cheese.
I go both. I'm going this way and this way and this way.
I love both, but with a wing, if there's a big chunky piece of cheese on that
I'm with you.
delicious wing,
It's the only way I eat
it
blue
brings
cheese.
a little tear to my eye.
It's the only way I eat blue cheese. I don't eat blue cheese on anything else.
Let's see, you had to get it down to a science, right? You got the flat, right?
Yeah, the two-bone? The two-bone.
You go forehand, backhand, punish it.
I'm wing over drumstick or wing.
Hold on. Don't stop the technique real quick because mine is flat.
Yeah.
Left hand holding of said blue cheese, and a gigantic scoop. And if the big chunk part falls off, you go back. If it doesn't, you go in. And then next time, you go for the second biggest one. But I go full like ladle spoon. I like the forehand backhand.
Yeah,
I'm a spoon ladle. Like, and if it all comes in, it's fine. Yes.
The two boner, I rip it apart, rip the chicken off, dip the chicken in.
First of all, once you said two boner, you lost me.
You got your drumstick and you got your two boner. Those are the two chicken wings you got.
So you
I take the two.
snap it.
I snap it.
I take a flat. I eat a flat.
Then I take the chicken out, wrap it up because it comes out with the skin.
Yeah.
Take it out with a wrap up the chicken in the skin.
Are you serious?
Yes, I am.
That's doing way too much.
I'm sitting there.
You got to play a speed game. You know what I'm saying? Like Martina
doing wingman.
Navratilova used to play the speed game.
Yeah.
No, but you're playing a baseline game. Forehand, backhand. You're
but
patient.
Look, we're forehand and on our backhand, we're charging the net. Boom, we're out.
All right.
I just want this to be known. After whatever technique it is in the sauce world, it's all going here. When I pull the bones out, it's nothing left but bones.
Nothing left.
I understand.
You're doing
one
too
bone
much with your
two bones.
boner. You're doing
you're
too
two
much
boner.
with your two boner.
I'm a one bone.
I understand.
Maybe a two bone, but I'm getting older. But a two boner, that's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
What about Rio Grande?
Oh well, you said
never been there.
You said $20
You can get
Never been there.
The queso.
If you love Mexican food, you love Rio Grande.
Really?
They just do a fantastic job. That's it. That's all. I'm not even gonna. I'm just telling you.
It's good.
Everything you order.
How's their guac? Do they do table side guac?
Oh yeah, they will. You don't have to get it that way. It's cheaper if you just get it made.
But either way, if you walk by their restaurant like I did a million times, and they were chopping their salsa at 8 a.m. before they opened up at 10:30 or 11, whatever. Everything's made for an established restaurant that's a chain. They do it old school. The recipes have not changed in like 25 years. Maybe the food services have, but when it says chicken, where they got it from might have changed. But they put so much butter on that chicken, and they have so much.
Good.
You can smell the salsa being chopped. You can smell the onions if you walk by.
Oh my goodness! Where is this?
Downtown Bethesda.
Bethesda Avenue.
Yeah.
Also Rio and Gaithersburg.
Yeah, they got one.
They got one there too.
Yep.
Okay.
They might call it Uncle Julio's.
It's called Uncle Julio's Grill at Rio Grande Cafe.
Yeah.
Got it.
But I will say Guapo's does a much cheaper version at almost the same level.
Their queso isn't as good.
No, but it's different.
Yeah.
The salsa isn't as good, but I will drink it.
I'm just glad you guys didn't throw me out any Ruby Tuesdays
I'm
or,
mad that
or
you
TGI
said Hard
Fridays.
Times because no one said Souls yet. No one said Corner Pub yet. We said Stained Glass. These are the spots for me.
No,
that,
Souls definitely.
Yeah.
What's your order at Souls?
Deli? I wish we could have that.
Parkway Deli.
Parkway Deli might be my number one, but for me, $20 might be pushing it. And
really?
Their prices have been going up.
I went there for lunch last week.
Like $5.
I got a sausage, egg, and cheese omelet with a side of French toast.
And it was that much food, I bet.
Oh, it was a lot of food.
Have y'all had Brickside wings?
Yes, they're delicious.
Brickside has a peanut butter and jelly wing.
What?
Yes, they do.
I'm out on that one now.
Listen, I had to try it. I ordered my normal order of wings, right? And I saw it on the menu, and I said, can you tell them to just make me one? I just want to try it, just one. I'm not ready to order a whole order of them, but it wasn't that bad. I was expecting for it to be gruesome, but
no, the peanut's the peanut sauce, which is delicious. Then the jelly is anything sweet they can find. But I know your wing order because I've taken your wing order.
Absolutely.
There might be a few others that are servers or maybe a few bartenders, but in Bethesda, I've taken your wing order more than anyone.
Absolutely.
And I understand the Old Bay.
Yeah.
Blue cheese.
Yeah.
With a side of honey.
Yes.
I like it.
I enlightened him.
And he started a trend that I didn't mind doing it for my man Darren. Now you got some buttholes asking me, hey, that guy got a side of honey. Can I have a side of honey? I'm like, how much honey? We have one bear down there in the kitchen with that little yellow top. And you pinch that off. Like, how many of those can you expect me to fill into a ramekin? where you take one dip and the rest is gone. Like honey used to last for 6 months. Once Darren started this trend, we were buying honey by the case.
That's good.
But
That's real good.
I'm a trendsetter.
It's freaking delicious. But real honey. Beehive style.
All right.
All right.
Well,
I like this one, Ken. I like this one.
let's see when Juice comes back if he can add to the list.
Holding it down for you, Juice.
Woodside Deli.
I've not been there in a long time.
I'm just saying, we can't deny Tasty Diner. Let's everyone just relax before
for
you.
sure.
Don't add us. Like we have to hit the.
Yeah.
But for $20, and you can sit down with a waitress or waiter.
Yep.
Yeah, it ain't happening anymore at what is it, Woodmont Grill?
No.
Houston's. You used to be able to.
Yeah.
You can't get out of there for less than 20 anymore.
No way. You can get a salad for less than 20.
$17.99 for that French dip. All right, I'm done.
Well, we'll be back at a normal scheduled time, I believe, on Tuesday night. Will you be back on Tuesday?
For sure.
We'll see
Would
you
miss it.
on Tuesday. Until then, he's Darren McClinton.
Hey, Friday night edition. Thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks for being here. He's Kevin Ricka.
Juice, thanks for letting me spread these cheeks all over this chair. Much appreciated. I hope I didn't.
Which you've been doing all night, anyways. I mean, you just
I usually do it before he gets here,
it.
anyways. But whatever. It's just now it's known. But I didn't go nuts from Juice's spot. I just wanted to represent that.
That's right.
If it was a food conversation, him and I always agree.
Of course.
Yeah.
I'm Ken Marangolo, and this was
The HotBox. Appreciate you.
all right. Still live. Still
I
live.
love it.
Still live. Don't be saying nothing.
Hard Times wings are so good. I can't stand
Hey
myself.
man, Georgetown had a good win. They beat Butler.
Nice.
Yeah.
Best wing you eat right now in the world in the last 6 months. Both of you.